Okay guys, Bill here with Money, Bonsai, and Motivation. And what today's video is going to be about is how to properly prepare your bonsai pot to be able to put your soil in it and then put your bonsai tree in it. But we're not going to get into the soil part or into the potting of the tree. We just want to get into preparing our bonsai pot and why we prepare it the way that we prepare it. So to show you here, this is a standard bonsai pot. You'll notice that the bonsai pot has two holes in it, big holes, and those holes are designed for drainage. The other small holes that you see, the four small holes, I hate when it does that. Okay. Yep, the four small holes, those are for the wires to be able to come through to be able to secure your tree into place. So it looks like if I keep this in front of me, we're going to have less of a problem with things like that going on. So if any of you know anything about bonsai soil, it's going to be a combination generally of lava rock, pumice, sometimes akadama, sometimes kanuma, just depending upon the acidity level of the tree. But generally you will find the three ingredients in there: pumice, lava rock, akadama, or pumice, lava rock, and kanuma. Sometimes it's just pumice and lava rock, but these are generally the main components that are used in Japanese bonsai. And because the rocks are so small, you need to have something to be able to cover those big holes that you see right there in the middle. That big hole, and then the one over here as well. We got to cover those up, and we got to cover those up correctly. So what we use is something like this little piece of mesh, and this mesh will cover over the hole just like that, and that'll prevent the bonsai rocks from falling through. And what we need to do is we need to be able to create a staple that's going to hold that into place. So if you see this piece of wire here, this is what's going to be used to create a staple to hold this little piece of mesh into place inside of this pot. So what we do is we take and we make a loop like this. So you see that loop like that, right? And from your side, you'll see that the leg of this loop is coming behind this part of the wire. And we're going to want this next loop that we do on this same side to do the same thing. So I'm going to bend that this way. Now, I kind of want to make sure that the distance between my two legs like this will fit in the hole inside of this pot. And what else I have to do with this is I'm going to take these legs and I'm going to bend them downwards. One down like that, and then another one down just like that, to where now we have this looking guy. See that? Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it inside of my mesh, just like this. So as you can see, so those loops on top are basically giving good surface area over the top of this mesh to keep it laying nice and flat inside of the pot. So now I want these legs to fit perfectly inside of this pot. So as you can see both pieces of the wire hanging down, and you can see that on the inside of the pot. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the pot upside down, and I'm going to be pressing my two fingers very firmly against those loops. And then I'm going to continue to bend those legs in the same direction that I was bending them when I bend them down. We're going to keep going in the same direction that it was, and that's going to help me lock that into place. So traditionally, when people are putting these staples into these pots, they're just making the standard bends like that, sticking it in, and then bending them out to basically where you've got, you know, the ohm symbol. But what that does is it pulls down on the mesh and it causes it to bow, and then you get rocks up underneath your mesh right there. But we don't want to have that mess. We want to be able to have our mesh lay nice and flat in the pot, and you know, not having, you know, that go on. So again, I'm going to make this loop one more time because we had two holes. I'm going to bend this loop this direction, and then we're going to come and we're going to bend this one in the other direction. And to where we've got that again. And then I'm going to bend this down. And then I'm going to bend this one down. And then when we get it inside, it's just going to keep bending the same way. This one's going to keep going the way that I just bent it down. It'll keep going and it'll lock up underneath the pot. This one the same way, but it's going to come this way. We're going to go ahead and get that in our pot. I'm going to put this in the hole. It's not so easy all the time for people on the first try, but I've been making these staples like this, so many of them, that I can pretty much eye it and see, you know, what I need for things to be. But there we go. There's our pot potted up correctly. So then this will allow us to, like I said, lay our nice layer of bonsai soil down at the bottom. We'll be able to get our wire to come up through those 4 little small holes there that we'll use to secure around, hopefully, which would be a nice existing root base for the tree that we're going to use. And then we'll go ahead and secure our tree into the pot. But this here is Bonsai 101, how to properly prepare your bonsai pot for potting your bonsai tree. So I want to thank you guys for joining me on this video, and have yourself a wonderful day, and we'll get back to this again. Take care of yourself and have a wonderful day.